save. You don't need that extra latte, that extra streaming subscription, going to that fancy dinner. You want to put that in a money market account, earning 5, maybe more percent, and watch that sucker grow.
Oh, Marky Q, you did not have to announce how much of an out-of-touch billionaire you are. You'd cultivated this persona of being like the people's billionaire because of your prescription drug company. I guess when you're that out of touch, it's hard to be aware of it. Okay, so let's say that you get coffee once a week, every Friday. It's got to be that brown sugar oat milk shake and espresso, $6.15. You get that every Friday to celebrate getting through the week and to get you to that weekend. But not anymore, because you decide that Mark has a real pulse on the working class and working poor. You decide to forego that little bit of happiness every week, so at the end of the year, you can have $295. All of that work, all of that denying yourself, and what do you have to show for it at the end of the year? Maybe you can buy Mark Cuban's shirt. But let's say you decide to invest it in a money market account. Like Mark suggested, you might get up to 5% interest. I mean, how much was the inflation in July? No, we're off to a great start. But you hold strong because Mark said this was a great idea. So you don't have any more latte happiness for 10 years. How much money would you have? Would you look at that? That's probably enough for 1 month's rent in 10 years. No, but that was such good advice. Why is the issue always that the working class and the poor do something that costs $6 that brings them happiness every week, and not the fact that we have billionaires who are like modern day dragons just hoarding all the wealth? The issue is never framed as, why does Mark Cuban have 3 homes, but nobody in the United States who makes minimum wage and works full time can afford the rent of a 1-bedroom apartment? And let's be for real, Mark doesn't actually believe that somebody's going to become ultra wealthy or a billionaire because of this advice, but it is a great deflection from the major flaws that are systemic within our capitalist system. And I used to eat this stuff up when I was in my early 20s. I'd look at the 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds and be like, wait a second, they're working really hard and they have nothing. How is that happening? And people like Mark would swoop in and be like, oh, it's because they don't wake up at 5 a.m. They don't only sleep for 30 minutes at a time. They don't only eat white bread and they just aren't grinding. Grind. Until you wake up one day in your 30s and go, wait a minute, this isn't about grinding. This system is incredibly flawed, because there's always going to be something in your life that you do that brings you a little bit of happiness or distraction, and it costs a little bit of money. And the billionaires can point to that and be like, see, that's the reason you're not me. I mean, maybe Mark is right, because in the time that I've taken to make this TikTok, I have not had any brown sugar oat milk shake and espressos, and I am in fact now 100,000-aire.